welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing part 3 of every page that I've ever coloured from my entire colouring book collection, and it has took me a lot longer to get through them all than what I thought it would. I have actually had to do it in 3 parts, and I'm going to continue with the Kirby Rosanes. I finished off showing you all my books last time, and a lot of them were from when I first started colouring. But I am going to start showing you the rest of the Kirby Rosanes, and then I've got some Annalynne ones, and that's about it. I've got a few more, and that's all. So I should be able to get this done in this video, and I think I've done 2 pages in this one. So we've got Worlds Within Worlds. This is by far my favourite book of Kirby Rosanes. I love it. And I'm happy actually with both of the pictures that I've done in this book. This is a book that I'm wanting to do more pictures in. I'm just looking through because I can't remember whereabouts in the book they actually are. So the first one, I think this were actually the second page I did in this book. And this was done with, I think I did a colour buddy with Debbie from Colour Me Stress Free. And I did the sloth in polychromos. I did Artesa for the little village houses. Yeah, so I did all that in Artesa. I did the background, I do believe it were Artesa. I'm really happy with how that background turned out. I was trying to make it like a warm sunset. I am going to try do the page opposite it in a similar background, just so it's matching that kind of warm sunset look. I used the Artesa watercolours for all these leaves, and I think it turned out really well. And then I used the watercolour for this log work at the back. I just wanted the sloth to stick out rather than go into great detail with pencils for that back log. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. And the other page I love as well. I just like this. This was a mixture of Prismacolors, Neo 2s and Artesa watercolours. So I used Prismacolors for both of the shoes. I used it for all the woodwork as well, and I did go with a gold, I think it were gold metallic paint for the little detailing in the shoes, in the sneakers should I say. And then I made my trees into cherry blossoms. So I did just go over it in watercolours, really quick base in watercolour, and then I did add some shading, nothing fancy, just to make it look like cherry blossoms. So I used Prismacolors to shade over, and I think I used Prismacolors for the trunks of the tree and Neo colour background, and I loved how that turned out. It turned out how I were expecting. And the only thing that I don't like about this picture is I tried to create like a light glow with the Posca pen, and at the time my Posca pen were running out and the lines ended up going a bit too thick, and it didn't go how I were expecting it to go. But apart from that, I absolutely love this picture. I think it just looks cool. I don't mind it. I've seen a lot of better pictures of this done, but it didn't take me a really long time to do, so it were a successful quick double page. And this is the kind of book that I want to get more pages done in. I have got another book by Kirby, and I'm not going to show you that because there's nothing at all coloured in there. These are Disney Classic and Disney Friends, and I haven't got anything coloured in from these, but I have marked some pages because since I did a review with both of these books on my channel, I had a lot of requests to do a colour along or just do a colouring chat in one of them books. I had people messaging me, I had a lot of comments, and for some reason it just seemed to be a popular video, and I got most views on this video, what I did for review. I think everybody just seems to love Disney, don't they? And I have marked a couple of pages, like this Beauty and the Beast one, what I'm thinking about doing future colouring updates. But as you can see, there's a lot of the pages in these books are like wallpapery, and that kind of puts me off, but I absolutely love them, so I'm going to be doing some future colour alongs with them, or should I say colouring charts. Now this book I got when I very first tried Prismacolor pencils. I think I bought a 24 pack of Prismacolors and I tried them on this book, and at the time I didn't know, I didn't know what I was doing with blending or anything, and I did colour a Beauty and the Beast picture. This is it. As you can see, we've got like a watercolour, I think the watercolour, but we've got a proper painting to give you a bit of a reference. And as you can see, I didn't know what I was doing with this picture whatsoever. The background just kind of looks like a blur. If I went in now, I'd obviously blend that a lot better. At the same time, I really love this picture because it's one of the first pictures I ever coloured, and it's the picture what made me fall in love with these Prismacolor pencils. To say I'd never used any pencils like that, I didn't think his jacket on the Beast went too bad. It could have been a lot better. It's not a very good blended picture. I didn't know how to do skin. I think a dress turned out fairly okay. Pavement didn't turn out too bad, but I still like it. I still like that picture. And that's the only picture that I've coloured in that book. I do want to do some more pictures in that book, but at the same time it is off-putting because it is, I think it's quite difficult. So I'm going to move on to some of my Annalynne books. Now we've got Fairy Tale Princess, and I absolutely adore this book, and I've only ever done one picture in here and it kind of went wrong. I went to do this Cinderella picture and I think I used Black Widows and a skin went really wrong. I don't know if you can see that, but the paper were really creasing and a skin wasn't blending. I was using too much of an heavy pressure. I did go in with some watercolour in this, which also made the page a bit crimpled. A dress were Black Widows, and then I just completely went to town with the Prismacolors on it. Ear wasn't blended very well. And then I used the metallic watercolour paint for this carriage, and I wish I hadn't because I think it completely ruined the picture. And then I did try to salvage it by starting the page fresh on the opposite side, and I can actually finish this off because I really like this, and it were Black Widows as well, and I can finish her hair off, I can touch that up, and I could finish a dress if I find out what colours I used. I know it was Black Widows, so I might finish that off rather than having to get a new book, because I'm right funny me if I don't like a picture and I feel like I've ruined something in the book. I like to get other copies, and they're not expensive, these books, but I can salvage that one, and it's the only picture that I've done, and I honestly don't know why, because this is my favourite Annalynne book. It's up there with one of the favourite ones of hers. Really nice pictures. I'm gonna have to do more in that. Then we've got Mermaids, Fairies and Other Girls in Whimsy colouring book, and I don't think I've coloured anything in from this book. Yeah, I haven't coloured one single page in that book. This one is maybe, I think this one might be the first Annalynne colouring book that I've got. What I bought, and when I first bought this I didn't know what I was doing with colouring and blending, but I think I have done a few pictures in here. I really love this book. Right, so this is one I did for Halloween, and it's not overly too bad. I could have blended a skin a bit better. This is when I think I first got my Black Widow pencils and I was wanting to try them out, and I tried to turn her into the Harlequin's Joker. It's not the best, but my blending did really improve at this point in the picture compared to what it was. And I really do like that picture. Like I said, I could have done blended this out a little bit better and made her skin a bit darker. My skin tone's not very good on this picture, but I still like it. I find it really awkward doing skin tone on these this paper. I think you can't get as many layers as what you could you know, on. If you're using thicker paper, you can get more layers. Now, this is another Halloween one I did, and I changed it into like a, you know, a zombie nurse. And I really like this picture actually, even though her skin's not blended. If I'd have done her now, I'd have done her face in total green. I'd have blended some greens and, you know, like limes and yellows, and I'd have made her skin a lot different. Here, I've just gone over a face with like a Prismacolor blend of a normal skin tone, and then I've literally just lined a face with green, and obviously that's not blended in, so it's not really blended. But apart from that, I don't mind it. Yeah, my colouring's definitely changed. And I think I did another one, or I thought I did. I might be mistaken. Yeah, I think that's it actually. I actually thought I had 3 pictures done in here. Yeah, that's it. Just 2 pictures done in that book. This one is an absolute gorgeous book, and I haven't a clue why I haven't coloured anything in this book. So this is another book that I am going to be colouring in. I actually might start a picture in this very soon actually, because I really love Victorian times. I definitely don't know why I hadn't coloured anything in that book. This one I haven't coloured in as well, and as you can see I've got a lot of books I haven't coloured in. It's because I did have a PDF download of this, so I did colour something out of there, but I decided I wanted the book in you know, physical copy, so I haven't had a chance to colour in this one yet. This one I did start a picture in here which I didn't finish, and this is also one of the first Annalynne colouring books I got, and this is a bit different to the rest of the colouring books. It's got like uplifting quotes because I do suffer from anxiety, and that's why I purchased this book, and it's got like a bit of a journal at the back. And I did start to colour this in, and it were with Black Widows, and you can see this is one of the first colouring books that I got, because the colours aren't blended. That purple is not blended into that blue, whereas if I did it now, I'd probably use a couple of shades of purple, then go to a couple of shades of blue, then go to the green, and it would have looked a lot, you know, it'd look a lot more blended. Whereas I think when I did this, I used just one colour of each. But yeah, it's not overly blended. But I'd like to finish that picture. Maybe I could try to go back in there and go over with it. I'd only have to really fix this blue and the purple just to make it look blended, and then that's the only colour that's standing out to me. And as you can see, I didn't know what I was doing with the skin at this point as well. I didn't know how to colour skin. And that's the only picture I've done in there. But it is a nice book. It's got lovely uplifting quotes. It is a really nice book, that one. Then we've got Annalynne, Steampunk Darlings. And one picture done in here, and this one. Again, I think this is done in Black Widow and... was it Prismacolors? I think it were a mixture between Black Widow and Prismacolors. Now, I love this page. I really do like it. And again, you can tell my blending wasn't really on form. I have gone to add some more darker blue here, but it's kind of created like an harsh line around a rat. If I'd have coloured that now again the same, I would have blended that different. I always get rid of my harsh lines now. I try, you know, that were one of the first things I learned when colouring. So these are really interesting to look back on, because when you start to colouring, it's things that you learn, and this was one of the, you know, first hurdles that I came across when I started to learn how to blend properly. And yeah, the dress has turned out really nice, and I think the blending looked a little bit better. Again, here on a glove here, there's some harsh lines what I would have got rid of, and then I think I just used Neo Colour 2 for background, but I used the crayon straight onto the paper. I didn't add any water. I wanted it to just look like a waxy effect, and I think it worked really well for this smoke. I didn't even add no water to it whatsoever, and I did like how it turned out. But I do like that picture, and I love this colouring book. This is a quite new one that I've got. I got it last year for Christmas, so I only started to colour one page in here, and it was something that I used when I wanted a quick page to do, and I started to use Sharpies, and I never finished it because I didn't like the Sharpies. I really wish I would have done it in pencil, but at the time I wanted a really quick picture. Yeah. Now, it's not overly too bad. I can't even remember what I used for background, but I have got some blending to do in this background, and I can easily go back into this picture with a pencil, and I can really fix that up and finish it off if I wanted to. I could make it look a lot better than what it does now, and I probably will do that in, you know, at some point. I really wish I'd have done it in pencil, but it is what it is, and that's the only picture I started in there. This is the new colouring book, so it's the recentest one I've got of Annalynne's, barring, I think I did get the Whimsy Girls Holidays in a PDF, and I actually haven't got that out because I haven't coloured anything in it. But the Whimsy Girls at Work is, I haven't coloured nothing in this book yet. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of books I haven't coloured in. Whimsy Girls in the decades, through the decades, sorry, I've coloured one picture, and I really like it. I don't mind how it's turned out. Some of my Posca pen, for some reason, I've put some Posca down, and it's kind of gone onto my frame, so I'm going to have to fix that. But barring that, it's turned out alright. I've used Prismacolors. I did like a little bit of a water effect there. And it really didn't take me a long time to do this picture. I didn't spend a lot of time on it at all. It took me, you know, I think I did it in a night. I used Prismacolors for all the background, and then I just went over, I don't even think you're going to see it, I did go over a top and a rat with some Mod Podge clear glitter. But yeah, I don't mind how she turned out actually. And as you can see, since me older Annalynne versions, my skin's a lot different as well. But at the same time, when I use this paper, I can only go so far doing the skin tone, because it only lets me layer on this paper so much, so I can only build up my colour so much. That's why I do prefer to use my own paper. But it's a lovely colouring book. Next colouring book that I've got is a recent purchase. I think I bought it just before Christmas, which is by Jade Summer, and it's a grayscale colouring book. Now with these books, I can't get on using pencils. I've seen people do brilliant work in pencils with them, but my Prismacolors seem to dissolve onto the paper, and it doesn't, you know, the tooth don't grip it, and it seems to be like a smudgy mess rather than me, you know, being able to blend it. And I got this colouring book because I wanted to mess about with my markers for when I want feeling in, you know, when I'm having a bit of a colouring slump. I wanted to just sit there with my alcohol markers and have fun. And I did start this page, and I did put a base over a skin with the alcohol markers, but because it's grayscale, the grayscale was showing through, you know, through, and she does look a bit grey. And I have gone over it in pencil and tried to add a little bit more pink, but it's, you know, it's not too great. I have got a little bit of blending here from where I've not gone over this area with pencil, so I've got some areas with pencil from where the actual grayscale in picture is, just to get rid of that unblended look, but I'm not overly too keen. And some of the areas as well, like here, the markers have streaked a bit, and I didn't want to go over it too much because the more you go over it, the darker it is. But yeah, apart from that, there ain't no reason why I shouldn't really finish this, and I can use my gel pens and glitter pens, you know, with this as well. It doesn't matter because we've got the black background. I would like to try to go in with this, maybe try Artesa's or an harder pencil and see if I get on any better, because the pictures are absolutely gorgeous, to be honest. I really like the pictures in them books. And the second book I got of Jade Summers as well is the Cute Witches Grayscale, and I did the first page and I'm quite happy with that. The moon I did try to go over in pencil, and I did add some blues in pencil, but the blue wasn't showing up, it was just looking grey. That's what I mean with the Prismacolors. It was just looking rather grey than blue. But I don't actually mind how it turned out. I do think that the markers that I used went a bit dark. I think in future I'd maybe use lighter markers because it does look a bit dark. And then I did go to put some stickles all over her art, and it's really shiny on her art. And then again I used a base marker, and then I just tried to go over a skin best I could with pencils. And that's the only one I did in that book. And again, it's another cute colouring book. The next colouring book I got is the 100 Best Grayscale Colouring Pages by Annalynne Lazarava. Now, these pictures are absolutely stunning. I'd seen a flip through on YouTube and I was really excited to receive this book, but unfortunately the paper's like that in the Jade Summers. And I did this first page with Prismacolors to start off on a dress. And the first thing that I did notice was I couldn't blend, and it was just doing the same. It were eating my Prismacolors. They were sliding on top of the paper rather than gripping to the tooth. I did do a face in the Prismacolors as well, but it was just like going on too smoothly, if that makes sense. But I tried to blend it as best I could. I did end up with a lot of wax glare on this, and I had to get a cloth or, you know, tissue paper and go over the whole thing, and it did remove all the smudgy wax glare. Then I tried my Artesa pencils to see if they fared any better on the wood, and it was the same. They were going on okay, but again, it were eating them. It like your pencils go down right quick. So I ended up doing the rest of her in markers, and I was really impressed because I only put one colour on her hair, and it looks, because it's grayscale, the grayscale worked really well, and it looks like I've used more colours on her hair. And same with this rope here of the swing bench. And then again with the leaves and flowers, I used a marker. And for the background, I just went lightly over it and did a simple background with, I think it were a Castle Art pencil in pink, like a pinky lilac colour. But yeah, that's the only one I did, and they are, you know, they are single-sided, so it doesn't matter if it leaks through. But as you can see, the pictures in this book are really nice. I did start this one, and I am going to be going over this in pencil. I have just put a base down, and I haven't finished it. I did get a little bit of a streak of the marker there, but pencil will cover that up. So that's something I'm wanting to go back in and finish as well. And I just did that with markers. The next colouring book is Gorgeous Fairies by Rachel Mintz, and I haven't coloured anything in this colouring book. It's really gorgeous artwork. Some of the artwork's really, you know, pixelated, but the majority of them look really nice. It's really nice grayscale, but unfortunately the paper's the same as like what's in the Jade Summer, and I cannot get along with pencils, so for me it's a no-go. These images I wouldn't want to do in markers, so that's why I haven't coloured in that one. And the next one we've got is another Annalynne one, and it's the Mystic Maidens. So this one is a mixture of markers and pencils. I'm really happy with how that background turned out. I really like it. That was done in Prismacolors. I did the horse part of the body with a base of marker, and then I went over in luminance pencils. I think I used Prismacolors for a rare. I think I made it into like a black and blue. I went over the rocks with the base of marker, and again I just used marker to do the grass and to do the leaves as well, and I did the tree with a base of marker. It's not my best work. I did mean to go in and go over and do some pencil work with the tree and the leaves and the grass, so I still really need to finish that. But apart from that, I like how it's turned out. Definitely can improve it by going back in with some markers. And the last one, I'm not sure. Yeah, the last one is actually a whip. I will show you anyway. I did start this. It is Escape to Oz, and it's by The Good Wives and Warriors. Yeah, I did start this. I think I used a mixture of Prismacolors. I used some black Posca pen to do the background here. I used Prismacolors for the air balloon, and then I had these. I think it was what they're called now. They were cheap pencils. I think they were Staedtler. I tried using some Staedtler here, and I really hated them. They wasn't blending, and I wasn't getting any colour saturation out of them, and for some reason I just didn't finish it off. I did start to layer up this bit, and I didn't end up finishing it, and that is the only picture that I started to colour, and I haven't finished it. And the others, I have got the rest of the books, and none of them have been coloured in. And that's it. That's the end of my colouring book collection. I'm sure I've got some in my drawers somewhere and that, but they're the only ones that I can find. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.